What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here with another VOD review. Of course, you can probably tell I'm VOD reviewing myself once again because there's a kind of broken comp that exists right now, and I couldn't actually find clips of anyone playing it really. Maybe if I worked harder, I could have. But the main person who's playing a lot of this comp, who is going for rank 1, though he's definitely been usurped by Dish Soap recently, is Casper Wu. But he sadly doesn't stream, so I had to basically say, okay, fine, I'll do it myself and play this comp. This comp is it starts from a Piltover opener, and it's basically just Piltover Reroll. You're often going for Jayce 3 and Ekko 3, Jinx 3 if you can hit it as well, and Vi 3. You basically 3-star all the Piltover units. The reason why this comp even exists is because of all of the buffs recently to Jayce to make him like actually a carry that can do damage. So yeah, it's actually very, very strong on this current patch. Maybe a bit too strong, honestly. And so yeah, I wanted to show it off to you guys in this video. As you can see, we get a econ opener. It ends up actually being a completely full econ opener, though I do want to hold on to the Jayce, so I can't make like 20 gold or anything like that. But I do end up making 10 here and holding on to my Jayce and 2 Oriannas. And I see the rich get richer, and I say, you know what? With full econ opener, also the chance of potentially hitting Piltover, I'm just going to take the econ opener, and then I hit the Piltover. So this is... I mean, look how happy this guy is down here. This is the best possible start for this comp. So you probably won't get this start every single time you play it, but you know, if you end up in this spot, you should definitely look to play this comp. I thought Piltover kind of sucked, honestly. I've played Piltover a bit on PvE. This is my first time playing it actually on live. You know, I really thought it was pretty bad. However, I think the reason why I thought it was bad is because I was trying to play Piltover into Aphelios, which this unit is just a joke. He doesn't do any damage. He's just horrible. And hopefully they'll buff him next patch. But for now, you should never play around this Aphelios unit because he's just terrible. But Jinx and Jayce are actually solid carries if you 3-star them. So we play Gunner, but instead of playing around Aphelios, we play around Jinx and Jayce. Also note that we are in the Rat Town portal, which is very, very important because it's going to allow us access to potentially a much faster Jayce 3, Vi 3, and Ekko 3. So yeah, that's something to consider as well. There is also another version of this comp, by the way, that's less Piltover centric. It's more like vertical Zaun. You play around like 4 Zaun with like Jinx and Warwick 3. I think Kurum Body Pillow in this lobby actually goes for that version. So you can actually see how that comp does as well when we end up playing against them late game, because they did say that they were hard forcing Jinx. Honestly, I'm gonna go, while these fights play out, I'm gonna go look up Kurum's Body Pillow on lol chess and see how their games are going. Because it basically seemed like they were 20 out of 20 trying to play Jinx. I mean, it's going pretty good for them. They hit Masters. What are their stats on Jinx? I mean, wow, their stats don't look really good. So this might be a 20 out of 20 comp. If you want their lol chess, it's this person, Kurum's Body Pillow. Jinx stats, 26% win chance, 63% top chance. And like they have some ace in here. Like I probably wouldn't play this style, but like look at these games. That's actually crazy. So yeah, definitely something to consider. This is actually a different comp from the one I'm covering today, though. It looks like sometimes they play more into it, but usually they're going for like the 4 Zaun version, whereas I'm just going to play 2 Zaun in this video. You know, I'm just playing for Lost Streak here. You can see me go crazy here because there's an Ekko with bow. I need bow for Jayce items. I think based on looking at Casper's profile, the #1 Jayce item that you want to build is Runon's Hurricane, which makes sense because you get so much AD from Gunner that you just want an item that scales with Gunner. But yeah, you look at his Jayce items, like almost every time he's building Renon's Hurricane. So that's what we're going to try to go for here. And we're, of course, just going to get the Ekko in here. Now, the only slightly scary thing this game is T-Lides is also going for a Lost Streak here, which is quite annoying. He's playing this, like, Nico, I don't know, board. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, spoilers, but I'm pretty sure he ends up just going the fastest 8th of his life playing Death Defiance Archangel's Nico, and we don't fight him here, so this means that we're going to have to basically open next round. Also, this person, Mr. Moonstead, is playing the Goldmancer Staff Karma. I'm pretty sure this is garbage. I played it in one of my games and it felt horrible, but I don't know. I don't remember where they end up placing, but I'm pretty sure this strategy is absolutely awful, just because Karma's really bad at, you know, securing kills. She's good at, like, spreading damage, but she procs Goldmancer very little. But yeah, as you can see here, we need to lose to T-Light. T-Light's still level 4, and also is on a lost streak, 78 HP, so I was pretty sure that, like, there was a decent chance that he would try to grief me. The only thing is that I know he probably has to keep the Nico in. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna do the full loss streak thing. I'm gonna put 2 Orianas in, trap my Vine, put this Oriana frontline so I can guarantee lose to T-Lides. And we do actually fight T-Lides. He didn't end up actually like full opening at all. He just basically played his same board. So I guess he, didn't care to full open, but I didn't want to risk potentially winning this fight. So now we get to grief his loss streak and continue ours. And 64 HP, I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible for 5 loss. And then we get our Rat Town shop here, which, of course, has double Jayce in it. Rat Town, the new portal, if you guys haven't encountered it, where they give you lucky shops that are tailored to your units, kind of like old Astral. But the double Jayce, obviously amazing here. The only sad part is that I had to take up my Graves. So I probably had like a lower chance of getting, stuff like Jinx and like more Jayces. Because I needed to full open there, but it's not the end of the world. We do get a cloak here for Renans, and also these items end up, I think, just being Warmogs. I think Warmogs is a solid slam here. But yeah, I mean, as you can see with Rich Get Richer, we were 86 gold. This is usually the board that I end up playing, is just, like Piltover, get in Gunner with Graves, and then get in Bruiser with like a Renekton or a Cho'Gath or something. And then you can look to start adding more Gunners. Jinx obviously fits in really well because it activates Zaun as well. I'm a little bit afraid that I actually might win this fight. I mean, looking back on it, it's kind of insane to even think that I might like kill more than one unit because their entire front line's 2-starred. So I probably should have slammed Renans and Warmogs at the start, and maybe I could have killed 1 or 2 more units. So yeah, this is definitely an area to improve. I thought for sure that I lost that fight, but I don't know, I was a little bit afraid that maybe because they're stuck level 5, I would stomp them. Okay, so let's actually look at this. I mean, Final Reserves is fun, but I'm pretty sure it's just too bad now because of how bad going 9 is in the current patch. So I don't actually think that I want this. It's kind of fun though. Maybe a more daring player would take this. I end up going for Blinding Speed here. So they buffed these. I don't know when they did this, but now it gives an RFC, a Gwinsu's, and a Recurve Bow, so that Recurve Bow can finish a double Renans. And then I have a Gwinsu RFC to finish my Jayce item, and I have the other one that can go on Jinx. Isn't that much better than Large Forge? I mean, obviously you get an Artifact Anvil, but I'm getting, like, instead of an Artifact, I'm getting 2 full items. I think Blinding Speed's actually better here. I don't know what the stats actually are on it, but yeah, I think it's quite good. Oh, also, for the person in my comments who said the quality on the last video wasn't very good, obviously, the quality should look a little bit better. Yeah, the stats look fine on it, because I'm taking the VOD just straight from my stream now. So yeah, I leveled to 6. We are, of course, just going to slow roll on level 6. I'm not 100% sure if it's the right call or not. Also, speaking of not sure if it's the right call, I end up going for the Renans on Jayce. Well, Renans on Jayce I think is correct, but I go Gwinsu here. I'm not sure if it's actually RFC or Renans that should end up going on the Jinx, or on the Jayce. And I can just put the RFC on the other Jayce, and then I can item remover it later, or even just pop it off once I find Jayce 3, if I find Jayce 3 before I find like Jinx 2. But yeah, we're continuing to lose. This is actually a really, really good loss from against Kurum. I thought that we were potentially going to win this fight on accident, but we end up losing it. This shop is amazing. Gives us Ekko 2 and a Vi. It gives us the Slicko, but I don't really want to play around Silco because, like I'm saying, I'm not playing the 4 Zaun version, especially because we have 0 Jinxes. Like, maybe if you get an early Jinx 3. So yeah, roll on 7 versus roll on 6. You get slightly better odds on 7 for like Jayce and Ekko, but I do really like hitting Vi 3 in this comp, having extra frontline and hitting Jinx 3 potentially. And your odds don't go down that much, right? Level 6 odds for 3 cost is 30%, and then level 7 is 35%. So I think you're just meant to roll on 6 in this comp. That's my take at least. But yeah, we lose another fight. We're down to 36. It's starting to get a bit scary HP-wise. Like, I would like to win a fight soon-ish. And I just want to take like a frontline item here. I really want this Chain Vest here just to make Protector's Vow, but it gets taken. But I'm just like, okay, I need a tank item here. I'm just going to make Redemption. It's going to be solid when we have like a Vi 3-star because, she's going to heal based on her own percent HP that's lost. So I think it's fine. But yeah, I really want to like hit enough upgrades so that we can like start winning some fights here. Because like, yeah, I need to win. Another Jayce 2 though is a big help, and a Graves 2. I'm like looking at this board and I'm like, surely I should win a fight with this board, right? 2 Jayce 2s, Ekko 2, Vi 2. Did I get Renekton 2? I don't think so, but I have Graves 2. Like, I'm pretty sure that I should win a fight with this comp, I think. And I end up fighting this Karma board which is the Invoker's board. They did randomly somehow hit a Shen 2, which is kind of wild. I guess just lucky shop stiff. But the upside is they're very low damage because, I don't know, this Goldmancer Staff item just does not give enough stats. So we do end up winning, and we get our cash out, which is, of course, exactly what we want at this point, just to cash out. We probably could have lost like one fight, maybe two more, and then cashed out for like a huge T-Hex, but I would much rather just take the cash out here. As you can see, we have a ton of gold now, so we're going to start rolling it down. We get the Jinx finally. Nothing too crazy here. Another Vi, another Jinx. And I am going to put the Jinx in just because it is enabling Zaun, which I think is slightly better. Items-wise here, Death's Defiance is like basically the only takeable one there. And I'm actually kind of... I think about this choice a bit. I don't really hate any of these. I think the pick that I make ends up being correct, which is Zanya's Paradox for Ekko. Just with the buffs to this item, it's pretty solid. I think about maybe like Sniper's Jinx, but I don't know. Especially because it's not certain that I'm actually going to hit Jinx through this game because I'm so far off Jinx, but so close to everything else. Like, I think this is actually the right call. So, I don't know. Like I said, not 100% sure on that. Curious what you guys think. You could leave your opinions in the comments down below. What Ornn item would you take there? Because like Infinity Force Jinx or even Infinity Force Ekko is not that bad. I guess I could go to like Explorer and then look up like Ekko 3-star and see what the stats say about Ornn items on him. Like if you go to items and then sort by Ornn, and then there's not enough data. God damn it. I hate that. We need more time on this patch. I mean, I could just go to last patch because Ekko hasn't been changed. And if you go to the Delta, it says Death's Defiance is best, then DFG, then Zanya's. So yeah, I think I made the right call. Another lucky shop here is amazing. Now we are only one Jayce off, so I'm just gonna roll down. I know I have this duplicator, but I'd really, I'd like to just hit the Jayce, sort of like naturally without having to use the duplicator so that I can use the duplicator for say like Ekko. So yeah, I did pretty low here, but end up dipping to 40 to find Ekko 3 and Jayce 3, or not Ekko 3 and Jayce 3, but Vi 3, Jayce 3, and we are only one Ekko off if I want to use the duplicator. So now we are just absolutely cruising, and we're still 40 gold because of all the gold from Rich Get Richer. But like you can start to see like the power of this board once you actually hit everything. Just like look at the damage that Ekko is doing, look at the damage Jayce is doing. It also fits so well, like Ekko fitting with Rogue from Graves, but yeah, like Jayce still at 6k damage there. Like wow, he's kind of a beast, right? Chemtech and Piltover are just horrible augment, so I never really want to take those. I'm thinking about stationary support here, but I think they're like the problem with stationary is like there are quite a few options that are terrible. So like if you look at just the items that it can give you here, I mean obviously something like an Obsidian Cleaver would be amazing. Like a decent number of them are pretty good here. The problem is if I get something like a Chalice of Power, then I'm just basically playing down an augment. I think most of them are pretty decent though. Even like Locket, the stats look very bad on. So I decided to not risk it and just take Job Well Done because we have so many units that we can itemize. Like I want to finish my Ekko item and I want to get Jinx items. So yeah, I just end up opting for this here. And I go for the Night Harvester on Ekko. I think about Deathblade Jinx, but I think Night Harvester to finish at our Ekko items makes a ton of sense, especially because Night Harvester will always be procced once Zanya's is procced, so it works really well. And we can just take a GS for Jinx here. I think that makes the most sense. But yeah, at this point, we're sort of like econing back up just so that we can have enough gold to get to late game. The idea with this comp, once you hit everything, like once we end up hitting Ekko, is we're going to push to level 7, get Aphelios in, and then level 8 is like pretty flexible. Heimerdinger is probably the best thing to get in, though it does end up being like 4 Piltover because you actually can't cut any of the Piltovers. But something like a Scion is probably fine, just like a random... Eventually, Sejuani will come in over this random Renekton because, you know, she's much better as a carry. You can, as you see, like, I'm holding on to this Ashe. Like, you can actually play for Ashe as well. Since I'm 60 gold here and I'm 1 Ekko off, I'm like, I'm just going to dip down to, like, 50 here and see if I can find 1 Ekko. And I do. And I say, you know what? I'm just going to duplicate this Ekko. I don't care that much about Jinx 3, especially because this Crumb's Body Pillow player is also going for Jinx 3, which I don't even, I think, realize at this point. I thought that I bullied them out of the comp, but they end up actually just straight up playing Jinx Reroll, which kind of works out because I go for everything but Jinx. It also sort of makes sense. That's why I wasn't seeing very many Jinx because I was contested by them. But I mean, yeah, at this point, our itemization's great. We've hit all of our units like way ahead of schedule because of the Rich Get Richer. All we have to do now is cap the board out high enough that late game that we can win with the fact that we're playing down a combat augment in Rich Get Richer. So yeah, we're going to play pretty greedy as well because we have this 25 stack T-Hex. Like our board is quite strong. What do we take here? I think, like looking back on it, I want a Vi item. Oh, I think I really want to Declaw here because I looked at the lobby and I saw a ton of AP. So I'd really, really like Declaw last Vi item. Also, if I have so much HP on this Vi, that Declaw is going to scale really, really well with it. So yeah, ideally I get Vi. Oh yeah, I'm literally like talking about how I bullied this player out of it. But then I think like a second later, I go look at their board and I'm like, wait a minute. Hey, they end up hitting like Jinx 3 here, which is kind of hilarious. But it, it works for them. Yeah, look, I look over there. They had like 7 Jinxes at that point or something. But yeah, I was just kind of like scouting my opponents. I mean, I guess they are one of my opponents. I'm just moving so that I don't get Jarvaned here. Actually, no, I think I'm just swapping sides. But yeah, they hit Jinx 3 here, so even with me playing it, but they just, as you can see, they straight up hard forced it, right? They said Jinx at the start of the game before they had a single Jinx. They hard forced it, and I mean, they're master tier, 20 LP. Like, that is definitely not bad, and their stats on it look very, very good. So yeah, kind of wild. And they're 4 Zon with the Virulent Bioware on Jinx, and then frontline got Exoskeleton, the Warwick 3. I think they hit Warwick 3, got Exoskeleton. So I think it, like, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. 4 Zon is quite strong. If you can get, like, the right units online with the right mods. But, like, most damage mods will go on Jinx. Most tank mods will go on Warwick, so I assume you just put the damage on Jinx, put the tank ones on Warwick, and you're chilling. As you can see, they have a bunch of Warwicks. Yeah, 6 Warwicks and 7 sets. But my board, also, as you can see, is just way, way stronger at this point in time. I think Jayce 3 is like the premier carry when you're playing this version. You would prefer Jayce 3 over Jinx 3, so I'll absolutely take Jayce 3 here. And, having a 25 stack T-Hex helps. Also, the Ekko 3 helps a lot. And so at this point, I can just basically, like, level for free here. I mean, not even basically, just 100% level for free here. Get my Ashe in here, and now all I'm playing for is pushing to level 8, finding Sejuani 2, Aphelios 2, potentially finding like a Heimerdinger. Items-wise, like I said, I really want to finish this Declaw on the Vi. I do end up getting it, which is awesome. And then I have the option between Declaw and IE on Jinx. I go for IE here because she's already got so much AD from Gunner, especially once we get 4 Gunner in, that I think it's probably best to just allow her autos and her spell to crit. But yeah, not 100% sure. But I'm pretty sure that it's supposed to be IE here with the amount of AD that she has. We have Kurum's board here. Like, I decided to greed this one round and then just go 8 next round, and I get completely rewarded because Kurum's board is super weak. He was just stuck donkey rolling at 7, can't find Fiora 2 or Kaisa 2, so he's just going fastest 8th. Besides T-Lides, of course, who, yeah, like I said, he just went Giga 8th trying to play around Eco, which, yeah, not that good, I think. But at this point, I'm so rich, I'm just going to level up and go 8 here and try to find some upgrades. I really want to find at least one Aphelios, but I do end up finding the Heimer here, so I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll start just looking for Heimer upgrades, find Goldinator, find a Shrinko-nator here, and now I just need Burninator, and I find Burninator, and then I find the Aphelios in shop as well. So that's basically our entire board. We decimated our golds, but we made ourselves way stronger in the process, so I think it's completely worth it. And the Goldinator will help us build our gold back up a little bit. So yeah, I like this play a lot. Just find all my upgrades. You could maybe say I should have played it a tad bit greedier and just like not rolled for my upgrades, but I don't know. Seems weird to not roll in that spot there. And I mean, we still maintain our Giga win streak, and now we can just look to go 9 because like Aphelios 2 doesn't really matter. I do think it was a mistake actually to send this sword on this Aphelios because he is probably the next unit that we're going to itemize. You could also think about just if we find Aphelios 2 moving our Jinx items over, because it's pretty hard for us to find Jinx through this game because that guy's contesting us. I also see someone's trying to Zephyr where my Vi is, so I move her over to dodge the Zephyr there, but we don't end up fighting them. The only downside to this positioning is that we are very liable to getting Jarvan ulted with this clump over here, but he does end up jumping right side, which is really, really beneficial for us. So good job, Graves and Heimer and Aphelios, for baiting the Jarvan over there, because yeah, if he jumps my like turret plus Jinx plus my Jayce, it feels a little bit bad. You'll also notice I'm not putting Jayce in the middle of the Jinx and the turret. I thought about doing that, but it just seems too greedy to me. Like, the chance of him potentially getting, like, ulted by, like, Jarvan, I think is too high if I do something like that. And I just want Aphelios items at this point, so I take this Nashor's Tooth, which isn't, like, yes, Aphelios. I actually think I end up putting it on Heimer, now that I think about it. I'm like, yeah, I kind of want an Aphelios, but honestly, like, I have enough damage. I think I just want the CC, and so I just want a faster Heimer cast with the attack speed, and then like a faster second cast. So yeah, I put it on Heimerdinger here, which I don't know, I think is actually correct, because I already have 6 damage items on backline, and then, like 3 on frontline. I'm so dumb. I forgot that I had Shimmer Injector stuck on Jinx this entire game, so I finally move it back to the Ekko there. But yeah, it's Shimmer Injector on Jinx from the early game, but since I've hit Ekko 3, it's definitely been better to have it on Ekko. So definitely a mistake on my part there by leaving the Shimmer Injector on Jayce. It's going to be way better just allowing Ekko to survive, even like after he dies, even after he gets Sonya's proc. Lucky Shop here doesn't really have much in it. It does give me Sejuani pair and a Aphelios pair and a Scion, which I end up playing over Sejuani because I think he's a slightly better unit. Scion's a weird unit in that he's sort of like secondary frontline. He's kind of like Heimerdinger, actually. He's a CC unit, but he's not really frontline. The nice thing is that we already have this Vi, so like we can play him as sort of secondary frontline. But yeah, like you don't really want Scion to be your primary frontline because he's just gonna dash away and die. I put Ekko same side as this Ahri here just to end up trying to kill her as fast as possible, and he does because he's a beast. But yeah, I mean, just these fights are nowhere near close. Just the Jayce shredding, like doing damage, a ton of damage to frontline, and then the Ekko just like murdering backline. Like it's actually just so nice, the combination of these two units. And then Jinx helps supplement the Jayce. You even have Vi in for a little bit of armor shred, so you don't really like need like something like Last Whisper. Also, like stuff like Last Whisper is a bit lower priority this set just because of the changes to shred. But yeah, like as you can see, I'm just like hard chilling 70 gold here, just going basically fast 9, and I natural the Sejuani too, which doesn't hurt. Item wise here, I think I end up just going Protectors for Sedge for faster cast. You could maybe make the argument that it's Protector's Heimer for faster cast, and then he'll proc the Nashers. Also, Dorawaz was in my chat complaining about how he hit like literally nothing, and then the next round, he literally just hits MF3 plus Nautilus 3, and then we fight him, and we get the bug where we can't see our unit's health bars, so I don't even know what's happening here. But like my front line gets one shot, Nautilus walks into my back line, ults all my units, and like we actually lose to Dorawaza here. I actually got so scammed. This guy, man, is just complaining, and then I end up fighting him and losing. Is just so sad. We are gonna go 9 here. We have 20 gold to roll. I do think Atrox is just a very solid splash unit. Like Darkened Blade going on to someone like Ekko is really good. I get the Aphelios here, and like I was talking about earlier, I decided to just move Jinx items over to him so that we can have a real 3-item carry. Like, surely Aphelios 2 is better than Jinx 2, right? Surely. Also, at this point, I just moved my carry away from Jayce because I'm afraid of getting AoE'd. We're fighting the Jinx player again, who, yeah, like I said, I mean, look, they made it to top 4 with just Jinx 3, Warwick 3. That's all they needed, and, like, honestly, it looks like they were winning a lot of other fights, but I do end up taking them down. And at this point, I'm really hoping that Dorawaza loses more to this other player, because their board actually looks pretty bad into mine. Unit-wise here, we get, like, Aphelios and Sejuani. You can easily go for Sejuani 3 or Aphelios 3 when you're playing this comp, because, like, you know, they're not very contested units, right? But the sad part is that, I'm super broke this game at this point. I mean, I guess I was pretty rich this game, but I went 9, so I don't really have the gold to do everything else. But yeah, like, this person, I think we beat, like, basically every time just because of how Ekko works. Like, just him roguing into backline is so free versus stuff like this, Azir and this Ahri. So yeah, I basically think we always win this. So I really want Dorawaza to, like, lose to this guy so that I can just fight them for the win, but sadly it's not what ends up happening. Also, I get punished here because I take Aatrox off Carousel for Aatrox 2, but I slammed the stupid sword on Jinx, so now I can't make Sterak's Aatrox unless I find another Jinx. So I should have actually waited around before doing that, but it actually all works out because I find a Jinx in shop immediately. So yeah, completely fine. Also, that's my phone vibrating. I'm sorry. At least it happened at, like, near the end of the video instead of near the beginning, because sometimes I troll people with that. But yeah, I'm trying to move my units away so I don't get, like, AoE'd. But, like, I don't know. As long as I have Aphelios and Jayce, like, isolated just like I have them here, I think our positioning is completely fine. We do end up, this is us fighting Dorawaza again, but the fight RNG ends up going a lot better for us. The Nautilus doesn't get to walk into backline for free. He gets stuck on frontline, and our Jayce and Ekko can clean up. I really wanted Dorawaza to actually finish this guy off, and now that I think about it, like, I don't know why. Also, if you have Jinx 3 here, it's probably correct to cut Aphelios for GP, but because we're just stuck on Jinx, I can't really cut Aphelios, and don't want to cut Jinx because then I lose my my Zon mod. Also, like, I don't know how that happened, but we just roll and hit Jinx 2 there. Like, what? All good, I guess. Swap our units over at the last second to fight this guy's clone. I really wish we weren't fighting clone here so that we could get a double kill in this spot, because now that I know that we're fighting clone, it means that, like, one of them is going to die here. In my head, hopefully it's Dorawaza, so that this other player lives, because I'm confident I can beat their board. But sadly, Dorowaza wins the fight, so it's me versus Dorowaza going 1-2. The question is, who is going to be the final winner in this game? He's playing this 5 strategist, 5 bilge board, which is pretty, like, Woach, honestly, like a pretty cool board to go top 2 with, especially because a lot of people think bilge is completely dead, and it kind of is, honestly. Like, it's very, very bad if you look at, like, the stats, but, you know, props to Dorowaza for playing a pretty cool board and making top 2 with it. Get another lucky shot, but I mean, at this point, like, what am I going for? Aphelios 3? Like, I'm like, I guess if my next shop is like 10 Aphelioses, I can go for it. But really, I'm just rolling down for Scion 2, which would be better than Sejuani 2. And I do actually hit another Scion, but it's not enough to be done here. I just end up going Edge of Night for my Atrox here. I think it's going to be pretty good versus all the burst of Bilgewater. And I decide to just do no swap as swap here. Hopefully that baits him. We do have the Vi in front of Nautilus, which is probably like the most important thing. And the Atrox lives long enough to buy some time for the Nautilus. Goes to backline. It's actually such a close fight, by the way. Like, look how close this is. But just barely, my Jayce manages to finish off his Azir, and we win the game. So yeah, I wanted to show off this comp to you guys. I think it's really, really cool, really, really strong right now. Try it out in your games. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Twitch and all my other links down below. Thank you, thank you.